press the record button. I think is it recording now? So let me just go back.
Yes, you got it. Yeah,
Okay, I
it's
got it.
recording.
Okay, I just wanted to double check here.
Awesome.
So let me just go back 2 steps. So we're going to cover all these topics today, but we're going to really dive into personas. We're going to dive into them. So I named them. I actually have 3 people that I come to mind every time I create my presentations, every time I do a social media post. A lot of people are like, yeah, I think my followers are people that probably buy my products or maybe they buy my livestock. Um, I like it, I want you guys to really think about this. So I'm gonna just share with you my persona. So I have 3 people. I have the Leslies, which are like the corporate executives that kind of need to know the latest in social media marketing for their jobs. I have the Carolines. These are maybe like stay-at-home moms that have a side hustle or someone that is has a main business but wants to do a side hustle, so they're dabbling into social media. They want to learn more about it. And then the final person is the Blairs. These are like the Gen Xers that are young enough to kind of know about social media, but they've been very lucky because they actually had a childhood, so they didn't have social media. And I think people are mentally laughing at this. So they are young enough to know about it, but they're not very technical. So I think about those 3 people when I create my social media posts. Am I talking about a tip, a hot tip that's probably good for the middle person? Or do I need to have a strategy post where it's more beneficial for the corporate executive? Or, what is it that I can do to help that person to stay relevant, to be top of mind? We talked about this last time that about 50 to 70% of customers of a business is coming from your current customers, while 5 to 12, 20% is coming from new people. So maybe we're trying to do social media as a top of mind thing because it does take like 12 interactions to close a sale. Heard yesterday that it takes about 11 hours of content that people have to consume before they purchase something from you. So this is super important when we think about our social media. Again, what are their interests? What are they interested in? What are you trying to be educational? Are you trying to be informational? Are you trying to inform them? This is something that I really want you to think about right now in a sheet of paper. If I'll give you a second, hopefully you have a sheet of paper. Think about these 3 people. You don't have to name them like I do, but it does help. And I have that person in my face, in my mind when I create their social media content. What problem can you solve? They are struggling with blank. So I provide blank, so then they spend less time blank. What is it that you can do? So think about that when you create your social media posts. This should be like your North Star, your compass, telling you what you should do with your social media. Another thing we want to talk about, speaking of audiences, this is a new thing that came out with Instagram. I'm going to show you, and it's called the collab post. And as you can see here, it's a post that appears in 2 different accounts. It features 2 users as the post authors. So I did a collaboration post for those of you that are walking into this Zoom right now. I did a collaboration post. I visited one of your all's farms. I met with Audra Perennial Acres Homestead, and we did a collab post. Why it's so beneficial, we'll talk about in the next slide. But this is great because you can share statistics, comments, and see the number of shares. And you can see, and she probably put it in the chat here, how it's grown her account a little bit, both on Facebook and Instagram. And again, you can broaden your audiences. So it's double dipping. I love double dipping. So don't ever share chips and salsa with me. I love the double dip. But this is a great opportunity for you to broaden your audiences. She was exposed to my audience and her audience was exposed to me. So I mean, vice versa. So it posts on your feed, but it posted to our different audiences. It increases engagements and it really kind of spices up your content because I'm so used to doing a certain strategy and then she has a different strategy. So it's good to get her perspective and her background as a teacher. It was nice to see, to have that explanation. People enjoy those informative type of posts and it shows authentic. You're going to see me in the next slide here with very little makeup on, but with a whole bunch of lip gloss like today, with my hat on, all sweaty. We were icky. We were super sweaty. And then we had our children with us. but most importantly, it helps build a community. Not necessarily we're talking about followers, but build a community like, hey, get to know me, get to know that different side of me. And then also with her, she got to show her different side. So let's see here. So when you do a collaboration post, this is super critical. You're gonna post like you know normally would have, and then you write your caption. So you're gonna tell the story of your life. Hello, this is Valentina. I met with Audra at Perennial Acres Homestead because she went to one of my Instagram workshops. Da, 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 and she has this type of kuni pig. She has to go to, like you basically tell the story of your life. In this caption. Then you do space or return. You add all your hashtags. We talked about hashtags last time. You can go up to 30 hashtags per newsfeed post. You kind of want to do hashtags that are town, city that you reside in, the type of products that you have, or livestock or produce or what have you. And then where it says tag people, so right under the caption, it says tag people. You don't do add tag. You click on invite collaborators. One thing to know very quickly that when you do a collaboration post, you have to do this. And if you accidentally forget to add someone to collaborate, you have to make sure you do that before you post. If not, you're gonna have to start the post again. Make sure you invite all your collaborators, and then they have to accept that invitation. So see, it says here on the left hand, if they accept, the username will be added to the post. It will be shared to their followers and shown in their profile. So make sure that they have to accept that person's collaboration requests. So again, this is super huge here. Let me just look at the chat very quickly to see what you guys are saying. Yes, so there it is. I love people have a phone number. Bah, 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 bah. I love everyone's going crazy here. See, so she just got 2 on Instagram, but 10 on Facebook. So again, and then she actually, one of my friends contacted her. I don't know if she went over there, but she was going to offer her a farm tour as well. So this is great because she's even more influential than I think I could potentially be on Instagram. So that's going to be good for her when she visits her farm. So this is a huge thing. If you guys have any questions, oh yes, she did go on a farm tour. If you have any questions, please let me know. This is incredible. Again, this is exposing her audience to a new audience. And I'm pushing my audience to her, and then these people, it's like a ripple effect. So this is a great way to build your presence with your audience, and it's very organic. Again, there's a pitch, it's awkward picture of me and her, and we're all sweaty and icky, but we got the job done. Speaking of pictures of people, look who's in this picture. So there's collaboration posts, and then there's tagging. So there's a difference. Collaboration, again, you're double dipping, you're exposing yourself to that audience. She's getting exposed to your audience. This is just a plain tag. So we have Emily here and we have Ashley in the middle of the purple top there. So I love what this account did, the Rise Irwin. It says huge thanks to ARC&D family for guidance, da 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 da. And I love that they did this and they tagged them. So it's not pushing this post to their audience. They're just appreciating them and basically sharing a little bit more about them. Another thing I wanted to mention here, if you look there, the hashtags support local farmers market. This is Irwin. That's a good one right there. This is Irwin. And Irwin TN, Rise Irwin, the branded hashtag. So in case someone were to use that hashtag, maybe they're at that event and they see it, they can see other people that have collaborated or use that hashtag and then engage and comment on their posts as well. So there's a difference between collaborative and tagging. As you can see here, there's more, it takes a little bit more effort to do the tag versus the collaboration. It's a little bit harder to collaborate because again, you have to put more thought into the process versus just adding a tag on the caption and tagging the person in the post itself. Another thing that it's very huge is Messenger. We didn't talk about this last time, and anyone that's looking at this image has seen it on Facebook. Now you've seen it on Instagram, the whole keeping the thermostat going on. After yesterday's outage with Xfinity, everyone's like, I'm still not going to change my thermostat because even if the surge runs in the outlet and all that stuff. So Why is Messenger so important? You can check for customer questions. So if you go to the home screen and you click on the house icon, it takes you to the home screen, and there's two things. You have the heart where your notification shows up. So see, some people might leave you comments. It's important to comment back and respond to comments. This is super critical. I just posted something on my stories yesterday. Adam Mosseri is the person that runs Instagram. He's like the CEO. He always does these videos. So definitely check out my stories, Valentina EG. He talked about how it's so important to comment on, respond to comments because it gets a lot of traction the first 2 days, but even a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks out, if people are commenting, it's going to push that post back up and refresh it so people are seeing it again. And that's what my interpretation of that post that he did on stories yesterday. Another thing to note here is when you get someone to tag you in a story, you definitely want to look at that icon all the way to the right hand side, the messenger, the little squiggly line. Why? Because let me show you here. All four inboxes are in there on Instagram. You can see the various inboxes here. So you can even see who has left you different ones, and they all show up in the all. You might get some requested messages that people that you don't even follow, but they show up in the request, and they might be real people. They might not be spammers, but they show up there in that requested inbox. So this is super critical to check your inboxes because people might be tagging you in a story, because they might be leaving questions or comments. Definitely check those things out. There's a neat trick that I found here on Instagram, and this is a message between my sister-in-law and me. I don't know. Did someone unmute? Okay, so let me just double check here. But let me go back here. So there's a neat trick on Instagram here where you can personalize messages. So if you open up a message. So here's my sister-in-law and me. We're messaging back each other back and forth. You can respond with audio, video, or quick replies, which is like a botted chat. So if personalized questions, you can customize these questions. So see, save new reply. So you can say, where are you located? Can you give me the GPS coordinates of where you live? That's dedicated to someone specific in this conversation today. But you can go back. I can't tell you how many times, depending on how much lip gloss I'm wearing that day, I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like typing. I'm going to just send this person a video, or they needed to see a video answer back. So you click on the audio, or you click on the picture, you click on the plus, or you click on the little dots. I have actually messaged someone in the UK, and it's a private community that I'm in. And I'm like, you know what? I want her to hear my crazy Miami accent. And she appreciated, and then I appreciated her little Harry Potter voice responding me back it through audio message. So this is a great way to humanize your marketing. Maybe they want to see a specific livestock. Maybe they want to see specific produce or product that you have. This is a good way to really make it fuzzy and humanize it. So again, you can do auto replies. So you can just do like FAQs, where you located, where your hours, what have you, those type of things. So when they message you, they automatically get sent a response back, just like how you do on Facebook with those away messages for your business. Okay, this is going to be one of those fun tricks that I'm going to show you audiences how do you really attract these VIPs to your stories. So a lot of people don't know this, and I'm just going to share this with you here in the webinar. If you have an MVP, if you have a top customer, someone that kind of buys from you every month, you want to show things behind the scenes to these top tier customers. Or maybe you have a side hustle. So I think what I heard was someone has the homestead, but then they sell products, or they endorse products or something like that. This is a good idea to do a close friends post on stories. So this is someone that has a side hustle like I do. I post things in the close friends. I have to manually add people, and then it goes to my stories, and only a certain amount of people can see that story, and it shows up as a green circle when you look at my stories. If you're not in that list, you're not going to see that green circle. So I manually have to add people into the close friends list, And it's, if you go to your dashboard, and I'll show you where that is, you have to, it says close friends. You can't change the word close friends, but that's where you put those people in your close friends feature. And again, you show up as a green circle versus like the raspberry red ones that you see there on the side. So again, this is for MVPs, your top customers. Maybe you have a side hustle, maybe your business has a side thing that you don't really promote that much. This is a good way to expose people. People do this all the time. I've been exposed to at least 2 or 3 people. One person that I know is a corporate executive that does marketing, and all she does is she added me to this green circle. I don't know why, because she knows I'm a Gator fan, but it's always about volunteer football or baseball. I give up. So every time she posts a story with the green circle, I'm like, what is it? What is it that she's doing? No, it's just about volunteer, teams. And I'm like, okay. So I feel appreciated that she has me in that close friend circle, but it is what it is. Another thing that we can do is adding testimonials from comments. This is huge. I think I impressed someone in this call today, last time I was talking about this. So let's say someone says something special. Oh, this is such a great, pig. This is such a great produce. This is something, or maybe they did something. They really left you a beautiful endorsement. So how do you do that? So this is how it goes. You post what you have to post, and then super duper slowly, this is how slow you ever hear me talk. You go to the comments, so you post something and someone leaves this beautiful comment. So when you swipe slowly to the left, if you swipe super fast, it's going to delete it. And you see that red thing. If you swipe the comment to the left, you can pin it, which is where you see the little thumbnail, or you could highlight, which is the little plus with the circle around it. If you do the pin thing, it's great because it pins it to the top of all the other comments and they get notified that their comment has been pinned. It's pretty cute. It makes you feel loved and appreciated. So when someone fancy, like for example, I tagged an author, a book author, and she doesn't know who I am, but because she commented, thank you for taking the time to read the book, I pinned it. So I look fancy that the author of this great book that I read commented on my post on Instagram. Now, to take it to the next level, you can go swipe slowly towards the comment and then again the plus around the circle. And this is how you do it. I'm swiping all the way to the left, and then her comment that she had left me, which you can't see in the first picture, shows up on my story. So this is me doing apple butter, something that people probably don't know that I've done several times, but I've done that. So she said, "Love you, glad we got to hang out today." So when she commented that, I can repurpose that post that I did on my news feed and use it towards my story. So this is such a great thing about stories. And again, we if you missed last time's presentation, when you add stories, it's so important to always add the sticker that includes the location, the sticker that has the hashtag, the sticker that has the link, because all these people come back to look at your stories. Two things I want to note in this picture, other than the fact that I'm singing with a mariachi band. First things first, on the top there, it says Johnson City story. When I took the picture and posted it as a story, I tagged the Johnson City location. People in that radius, again, we talked about this last time, the people that are lost in this neck of the woods because they just moved here from California, Florida, the Northeast, they have their GPS on their phone. They don't know where they're going, so they have the GPS on. Your post is potentially going to show up on their feed because you're tagging the Johnson City location. So that's 5 people that don't follow me, but because I added the Johnson City sticker on my stories, it's exposing them to five people have been exposed to that out of the 145 people that have seen me dance really off key with a mariachi band. Another thing to think about when you look at your stories, we talked about this last time, it's so important to see that these people are coming back all the time to see what you are posting. Like right now, I haven't had lunch, and that Angie's food truck, the abuela's food truck that she posted, the Puerto Rican food truck, I'm dying to have that right now, but I can't. But if it wasn't for the fact that I'm doing this workshop right now with you, I'll be having a sandwich that I burn the toast because I turn on stories and I actively look consume stories to distract me because I don't watch TV during lunchtime. I just turn on stories and that's my TV, that's my entertainment. So that's how I burn my toast when I leave it on the toaster too long. These are people, if I can show you my stories right now, it's the same people coming back, tuning into my stories day after day after day. So that's why it's so important to keep up with that stories, keeping up with stories every day. Wow, we have covered a lot of territory right now. Let me have a sip of water very quickly. Okay, AI. We're gonna have too much fun here today. Let me just admit someone that just joined in right now and give her a second to process this. I know I saw in the chat box that Emily uses AI to come up with a cool caption for this webinar. So this is so exciting. I want you to start embracing AI. I was in my mastermind networking group. And by the way, if you ever want to attend my mastermind networking group, we meet on Wednesdays in the morning, and I can send you details. This is a great way to network and build your audience. And, you have me by your side, your buddy, to help you network. But if you ever wanted to network on Wednesdays, I was talking about this yesterday in my 1 minute pitch to my group. And I said, AI, a lot of people don't know what artificial intelligence is and how it can really make you sound smarter. It's like your assistant, your unpaid intern. This is someone that this is a machine that can help you come up with content creation, like see how your competitors are doing, simplify your lives, create these lists. This is such a great way to really help yourself. So I give an example here and I say here, give me 3 persuasive social media updates to promote our products in farmer markets, include emojis and hashtags. And then I use Green Phoenix Farm products. By the way, if you're here today, Green Phoenix Farm products, I'm using you as a guinea pig. If you're watching the replay, please get back to me. But so what this spit out to me. And I use the paid version. It cost me, I just looked at my bank account yesterday, $21.90 to get the updated Chat GPT version 4.0. There's the freebie version, but it's going to pull information from, I think, 2021 and before. And so just be mindful of that. So for the people that are multitasking right now, let me just show you. So someone that's burning their toast right now, give me a second and I'm going to pull up this information for you. But basically it says, give me 3 social media posts that are persuasive to promote to our farmers market. And it says, sure, here are 3 persuasive updates for promoting Green Phoenix Farm products at the farmers market in Johnson City. And it creates a Facebook post. Fresh, organic, locally grown, da 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 da, and then another one at Instagram, and it comes up with the emojis and it comes up with the hashtags, because I'm telling you, when you use AI, you have to say your role, your action, give it some context. So you're to say you are uh, a homestead, you have livestock, you want to promote your livestock or your products to the blank. But this audiences consists of, and this is why we talked about the buyer personas at the beginning, millennials, baby boomers that want to go into the healthy lifestyle, that sort of stuff. So you give this information to the AI and it just spits out this beautiful stuff. So let me look at the chat very quickly because I want to know if they're here today. Is that per month or per year? I'm glad you asked that, Angie. It is per month. And that puppy, I'm using this puppy like crazy. Like when I meet with people privately for social media consultations, I'm surprising myself that half the 1 hour consult that I'm doing with them, half of it's about like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever. The other half is how to really use AI to make your life easier. Yeah, so half the consultation that I do is about AI. Like we're taking this puppy and running with it. But again, so it spits out Instagram, it spits out Facebook post. And then let me see here. And then another type of post. So for example, I'm gonna pick on Audra again. This is another type of post that's very big right now on Instagram. And I've seen several of you guys do this, so good job. I don't even know what this is called specifically, but basically you do a quick video or like a screenshot of something, or you take a picture, you put and it's like a video, or it could be like a static picture, and you basically come up with a caption, and it says, "Is your garden struggling in this heat?" And then it says, "Try this," or read the caption below, or learn more by reading below. So she writes the story of her life because, again, Audrey used to be a teacher before doing this, so she writes the story of her life. She could have used AI. She could have used AI. Let me go back 2 steps here. She could have used AI and say, hey, help me come up with this caption. We add some hashtags, add some emojis, be very informative, give me 3 paragraphs to tell more about this specific type of produce, this product, and how the heat's messing it up. So you could easily could have gone to Chat GPT and come up with the caption. Again, we want to know: are you trying to inform? Are you trying to entertain? Or are you trying to educate? So that's why I wanted to show that. So yeah, look, Audrey just said I've used AI for some of my posts. She's admitting that to us. Thank you so much for being very candid with us. But that's the type of thing. So, when you look at this type of social media post, it's super easy. You don't even have to be in it because I know you guys don't want to be in the pictures and the videos and stuff. But back to the community building, we are going to appreciate you and endorse you and love on you if you show up once in a while. We want to see your faces. So please show up on your videos. But if you don't want to show up, she has a picture of, let's just say it's pumpkin, whatever, the leaves of the pumpkin. So she's talking about the whatever it is, that the hot temperatures and what she's doing to keep the stuff calm and relax and, all that sort of stuff. And then at the bottom, look at what she says here. This is beautiful. You deserve a cookie, Audra. How is your garden doing this through this heat wave? You want to learn, build, and grow with us? Follow for information. Save this post. When you save posts on Instagram, Instagram recognizes that your stuff is being saved by other people. It's going to show those type of posts to more audiences. So this is super important. You want people to say, can you save this post? Share with someone who's interested in being self-sufficient. And another thing I want to note, hashtags. I know you guys want more hashtags. I just threw hashtags at you with AI. I showed you about the Rise Irwin hashtag. Look what she has here: regenerative farm, regenerative gardening, keep your solid soil covered. There's grow your own food, Johnson City tea and Jonesboro tea. And of course, my favorite ones are the ones that say Johnson City and Jonesboro because it's going to reach the local people. I don't know if someone's going to come from like 5 hours away to get her stuff. That's why we want to definitely incorporate and put the local hashtags. One more thing as I wrap up the slide, you see the little circle that has the paper plane icon? You post on your news feed and then you post using that to your stories. So that way you double dip. Again, you post on your news feed, and then once you're done posting on your news feed, you click on the little paper plane icon and then you can push it to your stories and then add your stickers and add the location, and you'll never be done because there's so many steps that you have to do. Another example that I like from Serene Hill Homestead, she is so good at the videos. It says it's canning season. If you like it, then don't let it pass you without pulling a lid and ring on it. That's so cute. I love it. So again, she's using these great hashtags on canning. Again, think about your audience. Are you trying to be like the influencer on canning? Are you trying to sell your canning to local people? Be mindful of your hashtags. But I just wanted to show you examples from other people that are possibly on the call today from the previous presentation, or at least on the roster, that what they're doing with hashtag wise. But again, this is a really good example. It's kind of like like Audra's post previously, that you take a video, a very quick video, and you basically tell people what the caption, what you're trying to tell them, whether it's informing them or educating them, entertaining them. Okay, so now we're getting towards the end on analytics. Let's be honest. I want to know, put in the comments, put it in the chat there. Please tell me, what is your strategy with analytics? Do you look at the analytics on your Instagram? I just saw Graham's comment here, and I want to address something. I'm so glad you put that there. This is why I love you guys, because I want you to be like this. I want you, if we use AI, won't we lose a personal voice or touch? Maybe it's just me. I tend to follow and track with brands that I feel like they have a heart and unique tone. That accounts that are constantly marketing to me don't feel genuine. Again, maybe this is just my preference. If Audra, I'm gonna just assume Audra uses AI. I love the fact that she told me she's a teacher. So when I see her post, I thought that she coughed that up. I thought she actually wrote that puppy up because she's a teacher background. So I thought, now that I know she uses AI, maybe that post was not made by AI or used with AI, but I understand because she said she was a teacher, she's going to write those paragraphs. I love it when people tell me stories. So maybe you're going to use the AI for most of it, but then you're going to sprinkle in a story and say, "Hey, actually I saw this yesterday. This happened to me. I want you to learn from my mistakes that something happened to me personally." That's why I think it's so important to always add a little personal story if you do happen to use AI. So I think she kind of, there you go. See, there you go. I think she said that in the comments. But let's go to, let me see here. Let me pull this up. The chat is like stopping me from advancing my slides. Okay, here we go. So how do you look at your analytics? I think I had asked that question before we got into our little AI soapbox here. But do you check your analytics? Did you know that you can see your analytics? So unlike Facebook, that's like a hassle to really dive into your analytics, it's easier to see your analytics on Instagram. I'm not going to look at the chat box for a second because then I'm going to lose track of the slides here. But I love this analytics tool on Instagram. Again, has to be if you're using a professional or a business account, you are able to get much more information on your analytics. So you go to your profile, you go to your bio page, and there's two ways to find out more. You go to professional dashboard, and then you can see your analytics. So let me see here. Angie, I'm seeing I have my web by Wix and their analytics show me which social media is the most popular people who can find me. I love that. That's awesome. So when you look at your professional dashboard, it's going to show you accounts reached, total followers, content you shared. It's going to pull this information, and you obviously when it says total followers, okay, I did really good because I grew my followers by 0.9%, and I increased my reach with my accounts by 47%. That could have been hashtags. That could have been the collaboration post that I did with Audra. That could have been a story that I tagged someone in, and then they shared that story to their followers. That's why it's so important to look at the messenger aspect of Instagram and check on that, because people might be tagging you and you don't realize it. And something I wanted you to know on insights is several things. I can pull insights from the last 7 days. If you look at the top here, it says last 7 days, the last 2 weeks, the last 30 days. I don't know how, but I'm able to see the last 2 years. I don't know how, because some people say they cannot pull up their insights from the past 2 years. And I think some people are like, okay, they're actually pulling out their phone right now. So again, you go to your bio page. If you have a professional or a business account, again, if it's set up with your Facebook business page, you're able to pull up your professional dashboard. And then here you go to insights. From the insights, you go to accounts reach, accounts engage, total followers. Again, this is super important here. Your accounts reach, that could have been a hashtag that you started adding. It could have been a collaborative post. You could have tagged someone and then they shared that post. You could have posted something on your stories and tagged someone and they shared that story because you tagged them onto their story. It could have, who knows why your account reach went up. Total followers, same thing. You don't know how that could have happened. If it could have been all those reasons I just mentioned earlier today. What I keep getting questions on is I need to know, well, reach, the objective of analytics is it to get more reach? Is it to get more engagement? Is it the followers? Every time you look at your analytics on the top middle part, so right here it says reach. What I'm posting is getting 70.9% of people that are my followers. Again, that could have been stories, that could have been the hashtags, that could have been adding the location, what have you. This is why I talked about this so much in detail last time, and why we talked about that we don't always want to do reels. We always don't want to do static pictures, because the thing is that your audience is being chosen for you based on their preferences. So I don't like to watch reels, so it's going to push reels to people that like to watch reels. If people like to watch static pictures, they're going to post it to that. So that's why it's good to mix it up and have a variation of stories, reels, posts. So that's why I wanted to harp on this for a second. So look at the top, it says reach. The next one says followers. You're like, Valentina, I don't know who are my followers. I don't know if I want to do Instagram. Well, guess what? I don't know if my baby boomer people that are on Facebook are looking at my Instagram. Look at this number up here. 55 to 64-year-olds, 99.9% of my followers, that's 10% almost, are 55 to 64. So when you say, "Oh, I don't want to do this because of my baby boomers are not on there." Well, on my account, and this is going to vary person to person. On my account, you can see that I have almost 10% of my followers are the 55 plus crowd. If you put it combined, that's like 12%. Or I mean, yeah, almost 13% there, plus 55. Another thing to think about, gender. My followers are mostly women. For the two people that are here that are gentlemen, I have to post the pink fonts. I have to do the rounded fonts. I have to add pink and colors and stuff like that. Make it more feminine because I'm catering to a female audience. Now, another thing is, when should I post, Valentina? You open up your analytics and you will see the hours, the day of the week, when is the best time to post. I try to post stuff. If it's like mommy stuff, I post it right at night. If I post something in the day, it's for more for like the business people that I cater to. But you can see here, looking at followers again, last slide was reach. The top of this thing says followers. The next one is engagement. Of the 64 accounts who were engaged, 78% of them were followers, non-followers. They were tuning into my stories. Again, these people live for my stories. It gives me a complexity problem because I always have to have a story up and running. And these stories, they disappear in 24 hours. So I have to keep something fresh every 24 hours. I bet the chat box is so quiet because I bet everyone and their mother right now is looking at your analytics. I know. So this is super huge here. The reels, the posts, the stories. People want to consume stories of my followers. And then speaking of followers, so we were talking about reach, followers, engagement. My followers, they drop, they go up, they go down. Where are they located? So you can see here, when you're thinking about your Instagram hashtag strategy, I definitely want to milk the Johnson City ones because most of my followers, as you can see here, are Johnson City. Okay, let me look at the chat very quickly because I know some people got excited here. Ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba. Angie, I love that you're commenting. I love to know more about the target audience and timing to post. Yeah, so there you go. So you saw that. I think you saw that right there. Let me go back. Whoops, I'm going forward. So again, this is super important. Like if I was you, Angie, if I was running a food truck, I would definitely post my menu in the morning. So I'm like, by the time it's 11 o'clock, I'm driving all the way to Jonesboro, 20 minutes away just to go to your food truck. So if you post like, hold on, I'm salivating. Let me drink my saliva. Hold on, let me have a sip of water. So at 9 o'clock in the morning, I would want to see your menu or what the special is. So then I'm counting down 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Okay, it's 11 o'clock. It's a respectable time to have lunch right now. Then I drive the 20 minutes to Jonesboro, and then it's an appropriate time to have lunch. So definitely, if that's your audience, if you are doing the farmers market, definitely start thinking about posting your stuff on Thursday, Friday night. And then of course, this is something a lot of people have asked me. 33% of people sign up to do stuff at the last minute. So in this case, let's say you're going to do the farmers market on Saturday. I would be posting Saturday morning, like, for the people that are like, oh, I'm suddenly available. I'm not going to go to whatever I had planned because it's raining. So I'm not going to go on a hike. So what can I do? Let me go to the farmers market. And it's going to be good pick because a lot of people don't go to the farmers market when it's raining because no one wants to get wet. So I'm going to go this Saturday because it might rain and I'm going to get an even better selection of produce. I'm just thinking about how people think out loud. Hopefully, you guys don't mind me saying that. But that's the sort of strategy. So post for the type A, the type awesome people, like 2 days in advance, so they can start planning. Okay, I'm gonna go to the farmers market because I want to make this special dish that I can't do all year round because it's a seasonal thing, and let me make this crazy dish that takes like 2 hours to make. So you post your stuff Thursday or even Wednesday so people can start planning, the type A, the type awesome people, meal prepping, the meal preppers, and then post like the day of and the day before, so people can remember that your stuff is going to be there at the farmers market. So that's why I think it's so critical. Let me look at the chat here. This is why it's so critical. Yeah, it's worked for me doing lives in the morning. It's so critical to think about that audience, the type A person that needs to know well in advance, and the other type of person, which is what I am, that whoops, my plans went through they didn't go through. I have to do something else. I see my Instagram and whoops, I've happened to be in Jonesboro. I'm going to go to your location to get your stuff. So that's super important and critical. So when we think about followers, let me harp on this for a second. The cities, this is super huge. Try to really maximize. If your thing says Johnson City like me, then definitely maximize that Johnson City hashtag, the Kingsport, the Bristol, the Jonesboro. If you're lacking the gray and Jonesboro people, then definitely also use that as well. And then again, the age ranges. This is just the followers. You can see here, my audience is the millennial Gen Xer or whatever I am, the what is it, Oregon Trail generation, that's what I am. So I cater to that audience. I cater to the 1980 to 85 crowd the most. So this is super start thinking about what memes, what type of posts, what type of reels, what type of things that are relevant. Like the thermostat thing that I showed you earlier at the first slide here that we were talking about, the thermostat one, that's like even today, like I said, someone was posting that with the Xfinity being down yesterday and we were all stressing without internet yesterday. Someone's like, I am not adjusting my thermostat just so you can have Wi-Fi or type of post. I saw that going on today. So when you think about your social media posts, what can you post that's relevant to your audience? And again, when you look at your analytics, you're going to be like, well, Valentina, apparently my audience is the millennials or the Gen Xers or the boomers or the Gen Zs, which is the 20, 25-year olds and stuff. So when you look at your content, again, I'm clicking all the buttons here today. I want to see what is the type of post that I had created. And you can see here it says 7 days, 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, last year, 2 years. What is the post in the last 7 days that got the most traction? And it was the type of post that I mentioned here that you post something and it's a picture or a still shot or something that you're doing, maybe a boomerang where you're just showing 3 seconds of a clip, but you ask a question. Do you visit your customers' businesses? Read below to see why I do it. And then I write the story of my life in the caption, which I don't like normally doing. I rather just tell you on a video. But that is what got a lot of traction. If I look at the past 7 days, it's not the me visiting Grayson Highlands in Damascus. It's not the cookies. It's not the TED Talk picture that I posted. It's the Kuni pics with Audra. And then in the last 2 years, I went back. Accounts engaged. What is the thing that got the most engagement on my Instagram post? The thing that got the most engagement was the post that I did with Don Fenley. He's like the real estate data guy that knows everything about moving into the Tri-Cities. That puppy got 2,900 views. And the other thing that got traction was celebrating the 11 years in business at that point. So that's the type of stuff. When I think about what I need to do, what type of post I need to do I need to show my face? This clearly shows that I need to show pictures of my face and show up in videos. If you have a complexity problem, like Valentina, I do not want to take selfies. Guess what? You're going to have to do it because that's what people want to see. That's the stuff that got the most engagement. And then here, content wise, I sorted by the highest content type, all types. And again, it's always going to be the pictures of you or you showing up with someone. So I think that's the summary. So in the last slide here, because I really want to take time to answer your questions. Stories. Think of how tacky it was of me to share a video of me singing with the mariachi band off key. That's what people want to see. That story has gotten the most people looking at my story out of anything else that I posted other than Girl Scout nuts. My daughters used to sell Girl Scout nuts during the fall season. That video of me singing with the mariachi band, think about that. How vulnerable do you want to be? Maybe not that vulnerable, but always have a story consistently. You saw strategies here on hashtags, using up to 30 hashtags for a newsfeed post, maybe 3 or 4 for stories, but making sure you're using hashtags that are relevant. We showed you various examples of how relevant you can be. You can use AI. You can just go into a little deep dive and research hashtags, maybe, the city, town that you live in, county. Switch up the location. We talked about this last time, but I want to emphasize that. Don't just use Johnson City, use downtown Johnson City. A lot of people, you're going to hate me, but a lot of people consider Elizabethton downtown Johnson City. So maybe you want to use that. And then use your stats to be your guide. if you don't want to post picture yourself, you post that one picture yourself. Let's see how it builds up with followers. Um, Switch it up. You can see the type of content that got more traction. And now I know that people want to see pictures of me, me talking about books, me sharing some tips, me interviewing famous people like this Don Fenley guy. That's the type of stuff that people want to see me doing. So I think I just want to say thank you again. I know we covered so much territory. We went back and forth, but I really appreciate you guys with the comments. If you want to see when my next workshop's going to be or when I'm going to do, I think I'm going to be doing some live workshops soon. Definitely scan the QR code and I can definitely send the slides to Emily, who will send it out to everyone, I think. And if you ever want to keep up with your skills, I'm featured in this book that's on Amazon, Kindle, paperback, Audible. It's fun because there's 10 different countries represented, so you hear the 10 people from different countries and they have cool accents. So I wrote the chapter on Instagram, and if you want to reach out to me personally, I feel like I need to keep this slide open for a second and have a sip of water because I have a feeling you're going to bombard me with questions and I can't wait for it. So let me just leave this slide open for a second. Okay, that was a big sip of water. All right, so let me X out of this. I'm gonna turn on my video. I bet my face is all flushed because I get super pumped up about these things. Okay, let's do it. Emily, have you been tracking the comments? Oh yeah, and do the survey. We need your survey. We need your input. Emily has something special in that survey, so definitely check out that survey. Okay, questions. I'm gonna go through this very quickly, and I am not reading fast enough. Thank you so much for the kind words that you guys are leaving there, and I'm reading really slow here. All right, questions. If you have any questions, why don't you unmute yourself? I would love to answer any questions if you want to unmute yourself. Emily, you have anything to say? Oh, by the way, if you don't have any questions, I want to know action step or takeaways. Emily, I'm gonna get started with you since you just showed us your pretty face. Unmute yourself. Give me your action step or takeaway. Go. And if you don't want to do it, if you don't want to go live on the video and everything, and actually let me stop the recording in case people don't want to do that. Okay.
I am not on Instagram.